In a very beautiful and peaceful kingdom lived three sisters whose beauty was famous far and wide.
The view is lovely. Me too.
The eldest princess was Mashal, who was fierce and brave like fire and always acted as a shield for her sisters. The second princess was Faria, whose laughter sounded like the music of flowing waterfalls, and she could talk to birds. The third and youngest princess was Azmin Fatima, whose intelligence and wisdom amazed even the greatest scholars. All three princesses had a special confidant, a small fairy named Dua. Fairy Dua often played with the princesses in the royal garden and told them stories of the magical world. One evening, as the sun was setting behind the mountains, the three decided to go for a walk in the forest. They mounted their horses and rode toward the dense forest, where the fragrance of flowers filled the air. While wandering, they reached the place where an ancient and mysterious tree stood, its trunk glowing with a blue light. Out of curiosity, Mashal touched the tree, and suddenly a magical path opened that led deep into the earth. Faria and Azmin Fatima held each other's hands, and the three of them stepped onto the golden path. As soon as they reached below, they saw a world where everything sparkled like diamonds. The queen of that realm was Al-Shaba, a breathtakingly beautiful fairy whose wings spattered light. Fairy Al-Shaba told them that they were now trapped in a magical prison and could not return until a pure-hearted human found them. She waved her wand and transformed Mashal, Faria, and Azmin Fatima into three colorful, glowing butterflies. Back at the palace, when the princesses did not return, the king and queen became deeply worried. At the same time, the prince of a neighboring kingdom, Wijdan Hussein Shah, arrived. Wijdan Hussein Shah was famous throughout the region for his bravery, kindness, and devotion to God. When he learned that the princesses were missing, he vowed that he would not rest until he found them. Mounted on his white horse, Wijdan rode toward the same forest from where the princesses had disappeared. On the way, he met a small fairy crying. It was Fairy Dua, saddened for her friends. Wijdan wiped Dua's tears and assured her that he would surely rescue the princesses. Dua told him that the princesses were imprisoned as butterflies in Fairy Al-Shaba's magical garden. She gave Wijdan a magical ring whose glow could distinguish truth from falsehood. Wijdan reached the ancient tree and entered the magical world using the method Dua had explained. As soon as he arrived, he faced Fairy Al-Shaba, who warned him that the path was dangerous. Al-Shaba said that if he could recognize the three butterflies who were actually princesses, she would set them free. Thousands of butterflies were flying in the garden, but Wijdan did not lose courage. He raised a magical ring which released a special light. The light surrounded three butterflies, one red, Mashal, one golden, Faria, and one blue, Azmin. Wijdan called upon the pure souls to return to their true forms, reminding them that their parents were waiting. A powerful flash occurred, and the butterflies transformed back into Mashal, Faria, and Azmin Fatima. Fairy Al-Shaba was deeply impressed by Wijdan's intelligence and bravery, and smiled. She declared that the spell had ended because he was a true prince. Mashal thanked Wijdan and praised his courage. Faria sang a song in her magical voice, filling the entire garden with fragrance. Azmin Fatima used her wisdom to convince Fairy Al-Shaba to form a friendship treaty between humans and fairies. Fairy Dua danced with joy upon seeing her friends again. Al-Shaba seated them all on a magical carpet that flew them back to the palace courtyard. When King Suleiman saw his daughter safe, tears of happiness filled his eyes. Stories of Wijdan Hussein Shah's bravery echoed throughout the city. The king arranged a grand feast in Wijdan's honor. Mashal, Faria, and Azmin Fatima prepared a special magical gift for Wijdan. Azmin Fatima realized that Wijdan was not only a brave warrior, but also a great human being. Fairy Ashaba often visited the palace and brought magical gifts. The friendship between Dua and Azmin Fatima grew even stronger as they spent hours flying through the skies. Wijdan Hussein Shah decided to stay in the kingdom instead of returning to protect them. Mashal took command of the army and together with her sisters made the kingdom invincible. Because of Faria's songs, no sadness ever remained in the kingdom.
Try the butterfly pose together. Raise your arms gently, like so. Very good.
Azmin Fatima built magical healing centers for the poor, where every illness could be cured. One day, after witnessing Mashal's bravery, Wijdan expressed his desire to marry Mashal. The king happily accepted the proposal, and celebrations filled the entire kingdom. On the wedding day, Fairy Al-Shaba showered the sky with colorful flowers. Fairy Dua decorated the bridal dress with starlight.
Transform into the dress of your dreams.
It's beautiful.
Faria sang the most beautiful song of her life for the couple. Azmin Fatima used her wisdom to make the wedding arrangements truly magical. At the time of the marriage, magical butterflies sat on the hands of the three sisters as symbols of good fortune. Fairy Al-Shaba gifted them eternal happiness, ensuring that sorrow would never enter the kingdom. Time passed, but the beauty and fame of the three princesses never faded. They became known throughout the world as the butterflies of paradise. Whenever someone oppressed needed help, Wijdan and Mashal would arrive. Azmin Fatima opened magical schools for children, teaching lessons of kindness.
Art class today. Let's go. We don't want to be late.
Faria built shelters for animals and birds where they could live peacefully. Fairy Dua always stayed with them and took responsibility for protecting their generations. Fairy Al-Shaba wrote their tale in golden letters in her magical book. King Suleiman and the Queen were deeply satisfied seeing the goodness of their daughters and son-in-law. The kingdom of Nuristan now looked like a piece of heaven on earth. And thus, the three princesses, Prince Wijdan, and their fairy friends lived happily forever, and their story became part of history.